Hello everyone, it's a privilege to be with you today. In this video, we're focusing into a key element of real estate investment, the amortization period. We'll explore how different amortization periods work, compare their effects on your cash flow, and discuss which option might be better for you, whether you're a short-term or a long-term investor. And be sure to stick around because later in the video, I'll also be discussing the critical concept of debt service coverage ratio and how it ties into your investment strategy. Let's get started. With an MBA from De La Salle University and hands-on banking experience at the Land Bank of the Philippines, I, Angelina Espiritu, am a PRC licensed real estate broker, appraiser, and consultant committed to delivering expert, reliable service to buyers and sellers. My approach is rooted in knowledge, integrity, and client focused solutions. What is an amortization period? The amortization period is the length of time it takes to pay off a loan in full through regular payments. For real estate investments, this typically refers to the time frame over which the mortgage is scheduled to be completely repaid, including both principal and interest. For example, if you have a 25-year amortization period on your mortgage, your loan is structured so that with consistent payments, it will be fully paid off in 25 years. The amortization period directly impacts your monthly payment. The longer the period, the lower the payments, but you'll pay more interest over time. Conversely, a shorter amortization period means higher monthly payments, but you'll pay less in interest overall. How amortization schedules work? An amortization schedule is a list that breaks down each payment you make over the life of the loan. It shows how much of each payment goes toward the principal balance and how much goes toward interest. This breakdown is essential for investors because it gives a clear picture of how much of their payment is actually reducing the loan balance over time. Let's illustrate the concept by an example, comparing different amortization periods. Let's look at a simple example to understand how amortization periods impact your payments. For example, the loan amount is $500,000. The interest rate is 6.5%. If the loan is amortized over 15 years, the monthly payment would be $4,355.54. However, if the loan is amortized over 30 years, the monthly payment would drop to $3,160.34. The difference between a 15-year and a 30-year amortization period is $1,195.20 per month. Which is better, shorter or longer amortization? The key question is whether it's better to opt for a shorter 15-year loan with a higher monthly payment or a longer 30-year loan with a lower payment. I generally recommend choosing a 30-year amortization period because it offers a greater flexibility. For example, if you want to pay off the loan faster, you can always make higher payments each month, similar to a 15-year schedule. However, with a 30-year loan, you're not obligated to make those higher payments, giving you the option to manage your cash flow more effectively, which is vital in real estate investing. Now we will discuss the cash flow considerations. Cash flow is a critical aspect of real estate investment. Minimizing monthly cash outflows, including those for principal and interest, can help maintain a healthy cash flow. This is especially important when a property unit is vacant and no rental income is coming in. We will now discuss shorter amortization for long-term investors. There are investors who prefer shorter amortization periods, especially if they plan to hold onto a property long term. Paying off the loan quicker means they can enjoy higher cash flow once the loan is fully repaid. However, even in these cases, a 30-year amortization period can be beneficial. It gives the investor the flexibility to pay off the loan faster without the obligation to do so. We will now discuss the impact of amortization period on debt service coverage ratio. Another reason to consider a longer amortization period is its positive effect on the debt service coverage ratio. Lenders look at the debt service coverage ratio to ensure that the property generates enough cash flow to cover the loan payments. A longer amortization period lowers the monthly payment, thereby improving the debt service coverage ratio and making the investment more attractive to lenders. What is a debt service coverage ratio? Debt service coverage ratio is a financial metric used to measure a property's ability to cover its debt obligations. In other words, it shows how much cash flow is available to pay the loan's principal and interest. Let's illustrate it with an example. The formula is net operating income divided by debt service for the period, consisting of principal and interest. For example, you own a rental property that generates an annual net operating income of $120,000. The annual debt service, the total of your yearly principal and interest payments, is $100,000. Using the formula, it generates a ratio of 1.2. What does the ratio mean? The ratio of 1.2 means that the property generates 1.2 times the income needed to cover the debt service. This indicates a positive cash flow when the property can comfortably meet its debt obligation. A debt service coverage ratio of 1 means that the property is generating just enough income to cover the debt service with no additional cash flow. A debt service coverage ratio of less than 1 means that the property is not generating enough income to cover the debt service, indicating a negative cash flow. For example, a debt service coverage ratio of zero point 0.9 means the property only generates 90% of the income needed to pay its debt. Why is the debt service coverage ratio important? Lenders typically look for a debt service coverage ratio of at least 1.2 to 1.5 when assessing a loan application. This ensures that the property has a buffer to cover the loan payments even if income fluctuates or unexpected expenses arise. By understanding and applying the debt service coverage ratio, you can better assess the financial viability of real estate investment and ensure it generates sufficient cash flow to cover its debt. Conclusion: Choosing the right amortization period is a balance between flexibility, cash flow management, and lender requirements. By understanding these factors, you can make informed decisions that align with your real estate investment goals. Thank you everyone for watching. If you have any question or need for clarification, please send me an email at espirituangie@gmail.com.